Hi everyone, and welcome back to Living Well and Wild. For those of you that are new here, my name is Alexis and I am a behavior change specialist. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 mistakes that I see most often in goal setting. Of course, if you've already thought about your goals for this year, or even better yet, have them written out somewhere, this is going to be a great opportunity for you to revisit and refine those goals once you've heard some of these tips. So, mistake number 1, and probably the biggest mistake that I see people make when setting up their goals for a new year or at any point in time really, is not having a wellness vision. And I mention this one first for a reason, and that is because it is probably the biggest mistake that I see people make. Now, those of you out here who have watched my previous video, this is going to be old news to you, but without really getting clear on what your wellness vision is, then you're not going to really know what goals to put in place or what goals to work towards in order to help you get there. Really, the wellness vision is a kind of ultimate framework of what life looks like at your best. And this is going to be different for everyone, of course, but this is a time to ask yourself, if you don't know where you're going, how will you know how to get there? And I'm not going to go into any more details on the wellness vision itself, because if you haven't done that part yet, I encourage you to pause this video and go check out my video on building a wellness vision, which I will link right here. And in that video, there's going to be some tips also. And in addition to the tips, I have also created a 100% free worksheet to help guide you through the wellness vision process. So like I said, go check that video out if you haven't yet. And when you're finished with that video and you've gotten really clear on your wellness vision, then you can come back to this video and you are going to be ahead of the game. And the second mistake that I see people make is having way too many goals. Now, it is great to be an ambitious person and to have a lot of ambition and to set goals for yourself and to want to bring your life into alignment. But it is really important to pace yourself. Now, if you are one of these people who is hearing this and thinking, uh-oh, I have a 2-page list of all of my goals for the upcoming year or for the first quarter of this year, I am right there with you. I fall for this trap many times, even though I have a lot of tools at my disposal and a lot of education in this topic. However, when I make this particular mistake, I find myself becoming disappointed and frustrated when I inevitably fail to meet that 2-page list of goals and to accomplish everything that I had initially set out to accomplish for myself. And one thing you can do to prevent yourself from getting swamped by your goals is to take a step back and ask yourself, which 3 of these goals are going to make the most difference in my life right now? Or which 3 of these goals are going to have the biggest impact? And I know it might be really hard to prioritize, but I guarantee you it's going to be a lot less overwhelming when you have just a few things to focus on. And if any of your goals are shorter term goals, for example, you can always go back to your mega list and add new ones as you accomplish them. Another mistake that I see people make quite often is not meeting yourself where you are. And another way to say that is, it's okay to start small. I've mentioned before that I am a board certified health and wellness coach, and I have coached hundreds of people at this point in groups, in one-on-one settings, over the phone, virtually over text, in person. And this has got to be the one thing that I encourage people to think about the most. And I'm going to give you a couple examples. If you are trying to get more movement in during the day, walking for 10 minutes is great. If you are trying to cut down on your soda intake, replacing just 1 soda a day to start is great. And so when you set goals, it doesn't have to be this all or nothing situation. you can start very, very small, especially if a goal seems super overwhelming or if it seems like a big mountain to climb. Meeting yourself where you are is a kindness that you do for yourself. It is okay if you are not ready to give up drinking soda completely, and it's okay to not be ready to run a mile. When you meet yourself where you are, it is going to be much, much easier for you to build momentum and keep things going. And again, not get discouraged because you're not ready to tackle something bigger. So this is your invitation to take a minute, take a look at the goals that you have set for yourself, and really check in to see if with each of those goals, you are meeting yourself where you are. And if not, again, this is a great opportunity to revise and refine. Mistake number 4 is setting yourself up for failure. This is another one that I see very often. And again, I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Setting yourself up for failure could look like not being a morning person at all and making a goal to get up at 5 a.m. to go work out. And in a similar vein, maybe you really just dread going to the gym, and yet one of your goals has you getting a gym membership and committing to going versus maybe looking into another type of movement or physical activity that you would potentially enjoy better. So again, take a look at your goals and see if there are any areas where you may have inadvertently set yourself up for failure before you even started. And finally, goal number 5, which is not letting go of goals that are no longer working for you anymore. And I've given this some thought, and I think this probably comes from the fact that people don't want to have the sense that they're a failure or feel like they've given up on something that they've already been working on or already put time and energy into. And of course, that makes sense. However, I am here to tell you that it is not failure, it is not giving up to mindfully say to yourself, hey, although I have put time and energy into this particular goal, I've come to the conclusion that there is another goal that is going to better serve me right now or make a bigger impact in my life right now. And it is okay to give yourself permission to pivot away from a particular goal. And once you've given yourself that permission to let something go, it can be a huge relief. And I know it's difficult sometimes, again, if you've already spent time working towards something, but that's okay. I am certain that there are things that you can take away from that experience, lessons learned, and that time will not have gone to waste. And this is why I am always going to be encouraging y'all to write things out and also schedule a time for you to check in on your goals. And it doesn't have to be, once a week. It can be once a month, once a quarter, something like that. But always be checking in on these things because goals are not written in stone. If something isn't working for you anymore, you can always take a step back and find something else that's going to be serving you better. And that's going to do it for today's video. 5 mistakes that I see people make most often when goal setting. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was and you'd like to see more, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram at livingwellandwild_ and on TikTok at livingwellandwild. Again, thank you so much for watching. And as always, my wish for you, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you live in peace and ease. Take care of yourselves, be well, and I will see you next time.